following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
14:20 in the morning, 14 minutes and 20 seconds where the sports talk to get you through your daily commute. Hot takes, recaps, best bets, and a little humor to get your day going in the right direction. Sit back, grab your coffee, and let's get into it. 14:20 in the morning for the 6th day of December 2023. Today's show, as always, brought to you by SeatGeek.com and the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase for any tickets you want to get. It's all there at SeatGeek. Get some stocking stuffers or gifts for the holiday season, which is upon us, obviously. Remember, we are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to bellyupsports.com to check out all the great articles and other great podcasts, such as The Corner Booth, Rise in the Occasion, No Credits Required, High-Low Sports, New Sens Era, and my favorites, the guys over at Crap Root Sports. They put on a good show last night talking about the college football playoffs and conspiracy theories and everything else. It was Scott and Mike, and they put on a great show over there. It was a lot of fun. So if you want some great college football talk about how they came up with what they did, make sure you go over there today and check that one out. And thank you very much from all of us here at 1420 World Headquarters for all the support you've given us over the 3.5+ years of doing this crazy endeavor we got going on here. Anyways, it took 190 goals in 23 years and everything else, but TSN finally got it right. They placed Christine Sinclair's Canadian soccer great, Christine Sinclair, final international match last night from BC Place Stadium in Vancouver. They renamed it Christine Sinclair Place for the night. She grew up in Burnaby, BC, just down the road from Vancouver, but it was a great event last night, and it was something that I'm not going to pretend to sit here that I'm the biggest soccer fan, whether it be men's or women's, everything else. But it was an event that if you're a sports fan in Canada or Canadian in general, or have some kind of a tie to it, something that was must-see TV right across the country and hopefully right around the world, recognizing the greatness that is Christine Sinclair and what she's done for women's soccer right across this country, right around the world. She's an ambassador through and through, and it's something that little girls and little boys, they could probably take a page out of her book for how to carry yourself on and off the field and the way it's going. It was an amazing event that was put on by Canadian soccer and everything else last night, and it showed the greatness and the role model that she actually is. Let's get her on the field accomplishments out of the way first, because you go on and on for the on the field stuff. We'll get that out of the way, and then we'll get to the really important stuff. 20 seasons with the women's national team, 6 FIFA World Cups, 4 Olympic tournaments, 2 bronze medals, 1 gold in 2020, 14-time Canadian Soccer Player of the Year, one of only 3 people to score a goal in 5 separate World Cups, joining Marta and some guy named Christian Ronaldo. So there's pretty good company there when you mention the same breath as Ronaldo. She's the all-time leading scorer in international soccer, men's and women's international goals, with 190 goals total. Already in Canada's Walk of Fame, an officer for the Order of Canada. The list goes on and on and on, but it's more the off-the-field stuff and the way that she carries herself that people will remember her by. I mean, she's not dead. Like, there'll be trophies, everything else. There'll be plaques, they'll be on the walls forever at the Canadian Soccer Hall of Fame, the Walk of Fame, whatever you want to put it. But it's her off-the-field accomplishments that you really take note of, and you got to see that firsthand starting yesterday. Even the day, the days leading up to it on Friday night, she played down in Langford, BC. My niece and sister went down to that game. My niece is a big soccer player. She's quite good, but you look at Christine Sinclair and the way she carries herself off the field. Really kind of shows up when you watch women's soccer at the youth level, and the way that she's emulated throughout the soccer world, especially for the female soccer. And the thing I like about her is when I watch my niece's teams play, there isn't an arrogance and an entitlement that comes across with women's soccer at the youth level. I umpire a lot of baseball that's at the youth level, same age as my nephew or my nieces, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, and there seems to be a bit of an entitlement, and this goes for hockey players too. But when you watch women's soccer and youth soccer at the female age, you see a lot of people who play, a lot of young girls who play the way that Christine Sinclair does. There's a ferocity to it. There's a viciousness to it. They play hard. They play to win, but they also are they're cheering on their teammates. And they're also cheering on the game itself. They're still in that. It's in its infancy, really, when you think about it. It's only been really going strong for 20 some years, 20, 30 years. That's not a really long time. And what Christine Sinclair has done for for women's soccer is unmatched in my opinion. Like you look back at Wayne Gretzky back in the 80s, how he hockey was already huge in Canada, especially on the men's side, no matter what. Like it's been huge in Canada forever and ever. So the pioneer that's Christine Sinclair is compared to what Gretzky is, it's not even close. Like you even look back at like the back in the 60s and 70s when Gordie Howe played, and yeah, they were building the game, but that hockey was already big then. And then when you got in the 80s, you had Gretzky, and then you had Lemieux. So there was always like you're a Lemieux guy or you're a Gretzky guy. Christine Sinclair is the only person, and that's the thing. She is the one who little girls emulated, and little girls wanted to be that person. And you look at the smile on Sinclair's face last night as she was coming on the field and still encouraging the two little girls out on the field, like, hey, here we go, kids. She's an ambassador, and she's always trying to grow the game and help the game out, and realizes she has a role in Canadian soccer and in women's soccer in general to help grow it and to be a pioneer. And right at the bitter end, she was smiling and having a good time, and that's what I see when I will watch my niece play soccer. Is they're trying to help each other out. There's always an encouragement out there, and there's always I'm not better than this person, I'm not better than that person. They're always cheering each other on a lot, and you don't see that in men's sport, especially like I said, there's a bit of an entitlement issue across the professional sports too. And Christine Sinclair is at the height of women's soccer. She's the greatest ever. There's no getting around that. You might be a person here and there, but that might come into it. But when you talk about women's soccer, especially in Canada, it's Christine Sinclair. And there's the way she plays and the way she carries herself, it's second to none. And the admiration that she has garnered, I guess, and she's earned every second of it, because she plays with a ferocity. She plays hard. She plays to win, and it shows little girls that, you know what, I can do that too. I can play hard. I can go out and I can bump elbows, I can bump heads, and I can play hard, and I can be sweaty, and I can go out and do something that I love to do, and I don't have to feel bad about it. I don't have to say she's not a girl, she might be a bit of a butch, or whatever might be the preconceived notions are out there in female athletes. And it was great to see that she got that kind of admiration from other people around the sports world too. And how TSN put it on last night, and their teammates were all having fun. And I see the exact same thing over and over whenever I don't see McKinley play nearly enough, but when you do, you see that same type of person, and the way that Sinclair is mimicked throughout the girls' soccer world. It's amazing to watch, and TSN got it right last night by showing that, and showing all the little girls in the stands, and it's hard to put a finger on it, but it was great to watch the way that it was all put together, and the way that she still had a chance to smile, and the way she was signing autographs right at the bitter end, and she knows her role in women's soccer. And it's something that gets lost a lot, I think, in male professional sports, because there is an entitlement, there is a I'm not a role model thing, and it's like a lot of athletes, we don't want to know what they're doing behind the scenes. But I think with Christine Sinclair, she is a private person, but when it's time to talk, people listen. When it's time to do her job as an ambassador to women's sports, she does it, and she does it 100% right every single time. There's never turning down an autograph. There's never not a smile to a little girl. There's never not trying to help out. And you see a lot of athletes who have media availability, and that's one thing that Christine Sinclair doesn't have, is media availability. She seems to always be available to help people out, to get things right, to do the right things. And the way that her and her teammates of that era have built up women's sports, they are true pioneers to girls sports, not just soccer, but to girls sports right across the board. And it's not something we don't talk about here enough by any means. I still have to hook that up with that guy from The Score. We're going to talk about the Professional Women's Hockey League, but Sinclair has shown the world that girls can do it too, that girls should have the same rights, the same opportunities to play sport that men do. Christine Sinclair, actually, she even, I keep saying Christine Sinclair, because Connor McDavid, you got to say both names, right? One of those things. But she actually stood up against the Canadian Soccer Federation. We need equal rights, we need equal pay, we need equal coverage and everything else. And it's something that she stood up for, and she's been standing up for that for amateur soccer right across the globe. And now there are programs out there so now there is the proper coaching. There is the same, but not the same yet. It's not 100% equal footing yet, but there are programs available for youth soccer because of Christine Sinclair. There are groups, and there are tournaments, and there is the proper coaching now for women's soccer. It's not just some a parent who volunteers their time. There is the proper training that only men's soccer was getting and only boys soccer was getting forever and ever. And you look back, not that many years, just in my lifetime. I know I may be old at 49 years of age, but my sister, she had an opportunity to play. There was girls softball, and that was it. And it was done by the time you were 13 years old. And now and so that's just in our lifetime how these opportunities for women's soccer. There was a combined soccer, and that was it. If girls wanted to play on boys teams, they could, but that was it. There was never just girls opportunity, and girls didn't get the same opportunity on the field to play. They age differently and everything else. It was a different way of doing things. But Christine Sinclair is the epitome of class, the epitome of what an athlete should be, and it shouldn't go unnoticed around the sports world. And I give a tip of the cap to her and the way the game of soccer has grown because of her, and the way you look at her and the way it was played last night and throughout her career. And she knew what she was doing it for. She knew she was playing for country. She knew she was playing for little girls across the country. She knew she was playing for teenage girls across the country. She knew she was a role model. And every time she stepped on the field, and she played hard, and she goes, "This is how you do it, kids. This is the way you gotta play a little bit harder, because girls don't have the same opportunity that men do. Girls have to play a little bit harder, and it's not fair. But you know what? Life isn't fair. But you know, Christine Sinclair never complained about it. She just went out, she did her job, she played hard every night, she scored a lot of goals, and she goes, you have to play this hard every night, because you have to work a little bit harder, because the opportunities aren't there automatically. You're not given anything. And she proven that, like, you have to work for stuff. And it's kind of one of those things that maybe little boys and their parents should actually take a page out of her book too, because you're not just given things. You have to work for it. You have to give yourself the opportunity to get it. And she did that on a nightly basis. And the class that she shows over and over and over again, it's unbelievable. And like I said, when I see my niece play soccer, you see a lot of Christine Sinclair in that, and other little girls on the opposing team. McKinley's not exactly a little girl anymore. She's growing into a young woman. So I got to quit calling her a little girl. It's one of those uncle things, I guess. But you see how the girls play, and they're emulating how Christine Sinclair plays and how her teammates play. And it's fun to watch how even the younger players on the Canadian women's national team, they are a direct result of Christine Sinclair playing soccer, and the way that they emulate the way she plays, the class that she plays, and the way that whole team, the way they carry themselves, and the way they adore their fans, and the way they show little girls how this is what you have to do. You have to have a smile on your face. You have to do things the right way, and to go out and have fun. And you don't see that in the men's game at all. Like they're not having fun. It's more of a job to them, and they're like, I'm supposed to be here. I'm the cock of the walk and everything else. But the way that women's soccer team plays, and it's been going on for a long time, it's fun to watch the culmination of it all coming to an end last night at Christine Sinclair Place. And it was you got a sense of pride last night. I don't want to say I was crying, but there was a little bit of a lump in my throat as watching Miss Sinclair sing the Canadian national anthem before the game, and the way she was being adored by her fans right across the country. I know that my sister was watching. It was great to watch, and how little girls are given an opportunity because of the being Sinclair is a pioneer in the world of women's sports and women's soccer right across the country, and it's going to be something that will be felt for generations to come. And because of her, there is opportunities for girls to getting scholarships down in the United States, to playing in international tournaments, and not being just something that was put on the backfields for so long. And now it's on the forefront of our minds. People watch women's soccer in this country 100%. And Deanne was actually kind of funny last night that me and Deanne argued about. It's a shocker. Me and Deanne argued about something, but she goes, "Why isn't James Duthie there? Why isn't the panel there, or whoever?" And I said, "Well, because women's soccer was built by women, and the hard work of the women that were behind the scenes doing it. And you didn't need to have a James Duthie there grandstand. You didn't need to have certain men's sports guys, men's athletes there, the coach and everything else. It was built by women for women, and it was a great moment for women's sports. It was a great moment for Canadian sports, not Canadian women's sports, but Canadian sports last night, to show that, you know what, this is something that can be done. If you work a little bit harder, you got to put a little effort in, and anything can happen. And Christine Sinclair is the epitome of that, and the way that she has given little girls a voice and given them an opportunity to play something and do something that they love to do. It was a great thing to watch last night. Like, I know this won't be one of our highest rated 1420 in the morning talking about women's soccer, because let's not kid ourselves. It's not the biggest thing in the world by any means. It is huge. It is growing. It's a massive audience that goes on, and the sense of pride that we get when we watch Christine Sinclair score all those goals and winning gold medals in the Olympics. I remember that a few years back when they won that gold medal, and then there was one moment in the London Olympics in 2014, I think it was, where I was going to say it, but maybe I won't bring it up today because there might be some young ears listening to this, but there's a funny little story about her getting suspended. What she said to the referee and what the referee thought she heard. There's a funny little story. There was a effing horrible, and a different word came out that why she got suspended. So it was quite funny, that little story. So it might be the only misstep, but that was the competitive spirit of Christine Sinclair, because the Canadian team kind of got screwed of it, or didn't kind of get screwed. They completely got screwed in a situation with the refereeing of a U.S. Game in the World Cup. So it's kind of a funny little story. Or the Olympics, I can't remember what. I think it was the Olympics 2014, but one of those stories that came apart, why she got suspended. So make sure you go check that out. But it was quite funny. Horrible. Let's just say that. It was one of those things. But anyways, you tip with the cap to Christine Sinclair for what she's done for my niece, what she's done for my niece's teammates, what she's done for my niece's opponents, and younger girls right through and through. But it's a direct result of the hard work and the ambassador that Christine Sinclair is. So a 1420 tip of the cap goes out to Christine Sinclair and all she's done for girls soccer and girls sports and girls, just girls in general, to be who you are and be who you want to be, and don't be afraid of it, and don't be afraid to embrace who you are, because she did that for a lot of young girls right across this country and right around the world. So once again, 1420 tip of the cap goes out to Christine Sinclair.
Give Santa and his elves a break from the grind this Christmas season and ask for tickets from SeatGeek. SeatGeek has tickets for shows, concerts, and sporting events for around the globe. And by using promo code 1420POD, you will save $20 on tickets. Tickets make for great stocking stuffers and gifts, so go to SeatGeek.com or the SeatGeek app for all of your ticket needs this holiday season, and use promo code 1420POD today for your Christmas ticket.
There it is, Christmas right around the corner. Hey, and happy birthday to my first friend ever. My first friend ever. Probably the only friend. Yeah, no, the 18th Street. He grew up in Fort McLeod. We were on 19th Street, and we moved away when I was 5 years old. We remained close friends ever since. 44 plus years. Never a crossword between my first friend ever, Wes Stockton. Happy birthday, Poozer, from all of us here at 1420 World Headquarters. We'll have to hoist a beer. You're 51 now, Poos. You're getting old. We're all getting old. Anyways, here's birthdays and on this days, and we'll get everybody out of here for another day here at 1420 World Headquarters. On this day in 1990, where are we here? On this day in 1992, Jerry Rice of the San Francisco 49ers caught his 101st touchdown pass of his career in the 49ers 27-3 win over the Miami Dolphins in front of 58,474 people at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, California. Rice caught a 12-yard pass from Niners quarterback in the fourth quarter that would put him past Seattle Seahawks Hall of Famer Steve Largent on the all-time list. Rice would finish the 92 season with 10 touchdown receptions and play 8 more seasons in San Francisco and finish his time there with 176 touchdown receptions. Rice then moved on to play 4 more seasons in the NFL, 3.5 in Oakland, and 11 games in Seattle, and add another 21 touchdowns to his total to finish with 197 in his career, and is still the all-time leader in career touchdowns, 41 ahead of the next closest player, Hall of Famer Randy Moss. There's no doubt about it. Jerry Rice is the greatest wide receiver of all time. He had a couple of pretty good quarterbacks throwing him touchdowns for all those years in San Francisco with Steve Young and Joe Montana. So on this day in 1992, Jerry Rice of the San Francisco 49ers broke the all-time touchdown list. And what do we got here? Happy 31st birthday to Heisman Trophy winner and former NFL quarterback, born on this day, Johnny Manziel, born on this day in Tyler, Texas. Manziel was heavily recruited out of high school, but chose to go to Texas A&M. In his freshman season, Manziel broke numerous NCAA Division I records and SEC records, including the first freshman and first player in NCAA history to pass for 3,000 yards and rush for 1,000 more in a season. Manziel became the first freshman to win the Heisman Trophy, the Manning Award, and the Davey O'Brien National Quarterback of the Year award. Manziel declared for the NFL draft after his sophomore season, was drafted in the first round of the 2014 NFL draft, 22nd overall by the Cleveland Browns. Things didn't go very well for Manziel on or off the field his 2 seasons with the Browns, and he appeared in 15 games, starting 8, going 2-6 with 7 TDs and 7 interception. And the Browns released Manziel on March 11th, 2016. He probably should have just stayed in college for another couple of years and everything else. But there was a lot of stuff going on between Manziel's years, on and off the field. It didn't go so well for Manziel. But what a couple of years in college. He was Johnny Football. Obviously, he was the man. That Alabama game put him in the national spotlight right off the bat. So happy birthday to Johnny Manziel. It's hard to believe it's been that many years since he has been out of the league already. Like, it's crazy to see how time flies and how long ago that Heisman Trophy season was, man. It's crazy to think it's that many years ago. But happy birthday to Manziel. Anyways, there's a show for today. Make sure you guys check us out on YouTube if you haven't already. Subscribe to the YouTube channel when you get a chance to go over there and click it. It really helps the show out a lot. And then make sure you keep listening to 1420 podcast. They've got the one from Dave from Monday nights out now, so make sure you check that one out. And then Dave and I are back at it tomorrow. Lots going on here at World Headquarters. As you guys know, we're moving locations. We're moving to a different place, so it's a lot of work behind the scenes. We'll still keep putting out the content for you guys out there. Have a great day, Poozer. Happy birthday, and remember, it doesn't matter where you are, it's who you're with. Have a good day, folks. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
You just listened to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer with the sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Let's get into it.